Hello everyone, my name is Karina Jolie. I am from Brazil. I'm a pianist and a piano teacher, and I have studied in the US. I did my graduate studies at Penn State and Oklahoma University, and today I teach at the university level in Brazil. I am here today to tell you a bit about piano lessons online, and I want to address teachers and students with a few solutions for doing this at a low cost. I started doing this because I lived in different countries and I had students that wanted to continue having lessons with me. So that was the only option we had to continue meeting online. When I started doing this, I had my mobile and a laptop. And I found that the mobile is my favorite too. I continue using it until today because this is like a camera that I can move and show what I want. With the laptop, it's more difficult to do that because you cannot really move it around and show the keyboard. So I love this also because I can point, for example, to the music and tell the students to mark, oh, this chord, you have a sharp sign, you forgot that, or oh, please mark with a pencil, a pedal change here, or an articulation. So you're gonna find it a bit confusing at the beginning, but then you will get good in pointing to the score. Then if I need to talk to them, I can change the camera and I can talk to the students and they can see me. And it's very important that you address your students when you're talking to them, that they see your face, because if they don't see your face and you're talking about something that they need to pay attention, it's very easy that they're going to zone. So it's important. And also with the camera, I can point to the keyboard and show the keyboard. And sometimes when I did not have anything to hold my mobile, I had something high here and I would put it up there, and this would allow me also to plug my telephone if the battery would go off. But then I found something that really helped me. At the beginning, I had mobile support for cars that used to work to hold by pressure, and I used to put it here. But after this support started getting used, it was losing suction. Very often it would fall in the middle of the lesson. So I searched for something else, and I found another type of mobile support for cars, which is this one here that clips. So you can find something easily like this in the internet. And if you don't have a stand like I have, you can put it here in the opening of the piano. It maybe opens towards the front or towards the back, and you can shape the way you need. But I like to have it here. I have this shelf on purpose. And I then put my mobile there. And I can show myself when I want to talk to them, and I can also show the keys. And when I need to record a video of myself playing and I need to show the whole keyboard, I put it higher on the upper shelf and I can show the whole keyboard and my hands. So it's quite a very useful tool. I really love it. In terms of the students and positioning the camera in the best way, the mobile, if that is the case, they can use a tablet, they can use a laptop, and they can use the mobile. Of course, as I already said, with the laptop it's more difficult to see their hands from the top. So what I usually do to compensate for that is to ask them to make videos and ask someone at home to help them filming from the top, so I can see their hands on the top, from the top when I need to. But it is very, very important that the mobile is positioned towards the side of the keys, and that we can see the students from the seat to the head, their shoulders, the hands on the piano, and the whole keyboard. And that means that if you put the mobile here, it's not going to be very good because it's too close. You will not be able to see the person fully, plus piano, plus hands, plus the whole keyboard. So also another thing, using the mobile in the horizontal is also not really helpful, because in order to see all these things we need to see, it's going to be positioned too far, and then we don't really see very well. So the best is to keep it in the vertical way, and to keep it like this you can use like a cup, for example, a cup that doesn't cover the camera, so the student can show himself, herself through the camera, and the cup's not going to come to the front. You can have other ideas you can share with me down in the comments. I also have another idea, which is a book support for the shelves. You can put it here, you can change a bit the angle. If you need to put a bit towards the front, then you must have something to hold it. But you really can be creative and find a solution for that. Some of my students don't hear very well, especially from the computer. So some of them have a portable speaker. It's an idea, it's not necessary. Maybe it's interesting to change to the mobile, maybe. I think everybody has a mobile today. In terms of apps, there are millions of apps that can be used. Here in Brazil, not many people have Apple products, so we use mostly Skype. But there's Zoom that is being widely used today. There's WebEx. There are so many options. I have not tried Facebook, but I know it does video calls. I have tried Instagram, and I did not like the layout because it divides into two halves, so the student looks very small. Plus it mirrors the image, so looking at the score with a mirrored image is quite difficult if the student has to show something to us. But you can really find whatever you have and whatever your student has. Maybe you have to adapt to your student. They're mainly younger, and they're gonna have different or their favorite apps. It's not so difficult to learn those things. And try, and if you don't like something, if it doesn't work, change to something else. There are many options. Once a student of mine was using Skype with me, and the computer crashed, and then they needed to restart the computer. Then we did WhatsApp. WhatsApp also works pretty well. The only thing I would say is that when people see me online, they start calling or chatting, and that's why I don't use WhatsApp so much, only in those situations. And with people that have Apple products, I use FaceTime, but it's not obligatory to anyone. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the internet connection. When I started doing this, I had a very low speed internet connection. I had 2 mega, and it worked pretty well. One very important thing is that the wireless antenna is close to where the lesson is going on, and I have improved way higher the quality of the connection by positioning the antenna on a higher level, closer to the ceiling. So putting it on a high shelf or a wardrobe, just putting it higher improved a lot the quality of the internet. And today we have to be careful because lots of people are using the internet due to the conditions today, the situation today. So the internet is a bit overloaded, so it would be a good tip to set the lessons at a time that's not going to be so busy. In terms of the sound quality, yes, the worse the internet is, the sound quality can be affected, and we need to have patience. At this moment, what is very important, I think, is to continue having touch with the students. They will feel that their routine is not so broke, and so we must have patience. When the internet is really not being helpful, I ask my students to record a video or an audio and send to me. There are ways to make the file a bit smaller, to compress the file, and there are many sources of information about that. I might put some link to you in the description of this video. There is also the option of having a YouTube channel. It's not very complicated to make one, and then you can list videos. Your students also can list videos in an unlisted way, so only you and the student, only who has the link, will be able to watch that, so it's not going to be public. You can share especially longer videos, so that works also for duets And if you are the type of teacher who likes to play one hand while the student plays the other hand, this is also an option for the students to practice at home, which is something that we usually don't do, because we usually do that at presential lessons, and we now can have this option doing this online. The student will have your accompaniment there the whole week. During duets, during the lesson is a bit tricky, because you're going to set the cue. You're going to count 1, 2, ready, go, and you start. And when you start, you're going to see that the student might be 2 or 3 or 1 beat late, and you must continue. So it's a great focus exercise, and if your student mess up, it's quite difficult to compensate for that. I have been doing this for a while, and I have to say, not always I can compensate. So it actually was a very interesting topic this week with my students, where I wanted to show them how difficult it is to follow, to continue focused on your part once you're listening to something behind you. So I actually asked them to play their part and count and cue, so I would also join playing their part. And then they realized how late I was compared to what they were playing, and they really found it fascinating, and it was quite effective, showing how important it is to keep up with the rhythm and the count. Fermatas in the middle of the pieces are also a tricky topic. I like to keep it as a game and say, oh, you are going now to find out how many beats I gave to that fermata, so you can continue after the fermata exactly when I start the accompaniment. So it's important to be very steady with that and make it as a game. Basically, with all the difficulties of doing online, we can really find solutions and make it in a way pedagogical, transform it into something that will teach something to the students. We are very lucky, we have music to play, and I think that we can really share that as much as we can these times, and keep our lives a bit easier. And I hope that these tips are useful to you. Please share your information, share your options, your ideas. I'll be very happy to read your comments, and I hope you stay safe, enjoying music, and you enjoy these ideas I'm sharing with you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.